Hello ladies, gentlemen and demonized eggs, and welcome to a brand new season of The Struggle, a news talk show powered by the motto, another season, another host. I'm your new host, Tavleen. Don't be confused, you haven't accidentally tuned in to SBS. But seriously, using comedy as a vehicle to discuss something as serious as mental health is not new. But is it becoming more prevalent? To find out why exactly comedians do this, we sent our over-caring human resource manager correspondent, Denise, to the Melbourne Comedy Festival. At the festival, Denise spoke to comic Cameraman.
So I'm here at the Melbourne Comedy Festival, though to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing here. I was helping Tavleen do some deep breathing exercises because, she gets a bit nervous when she needs to go on camera, and I was going to give her a nice shoulder rub afterwards, but then all of a sudden the hosts were like, Denise, get out of the studio, go do the story. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing here, but look, I'm at the Melbourne Comedy Festival and let's find somebody to talk to. You there, what's your name?
Oh, hi, I'm Jai.
Are you doing a show for the Melbourne Comedy Festival?
Oh, I actually am. I'm doing a show called Is It Just Me?
Ah, that's really convenient. I'm Denise. I'm the human resource manager for The Struggle. I'm usually better in studio, but they've sent me on the field today. So anyway, what's your show about?
My show's called Is It Just Me? And it's about whether drama follows me or whether it follows everyone else. So the audience get to vote at the end of the show whether it's just me or whether drama happens to everybody, perhaps. Yeah.
It sounds like some real trauma behind this show.
I have had to go through a lot in creating it, but all the drama has followed me. So talk about my blue balls. When I first met my fiancée, it was very painful. And I talk about public transport. I talk about road rage and how a truck driver nearly killed me on the road and threw a coffee cup at my windscreen.
And do you find that doing these shows is really, it's really comforting for you? It'll help ease the trauma?
I hope so. I mean, it'll go one of two ways. It'll either make it more traumatic or more therapeutic.
Are you okay right now? You okay? We can stop this right now. We can go have a chat about it.
Oh,
if we need to.
I think I'm okay.
Think you're all right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, before we head back, where can we find this ridiculous and strangely depressing show?
Yeah, it's strangely weird and depressing, but Event Finder or the Melbourne Comedy Festival website, Is It Just Me? 7 shows only, Monday the 15th of April to Sunday the 21st. 7 performances, book now, Thursday show sold out.
Thank you very much, Shai, for this lovely chat. Please, if you need any help, just let me know.
I will.
You can just ring the studio and just ask for Denise. I'll be there.
All right.
And
Perfect.
back to you.
Thank you, Denise, for that very insightful interview. Something to finally get you out of the office, and I couldn't be more glad for it. Moving on, and do you remember that time you felt cashed up enough to buy the actual brand name cereal, only to feel an immediate tinge of guilt because you can't afford to make such impulsive decisions? We'll never buy a house and no one will ever love you. Well, it turns out that boomers make mistakes with their wallets too. Who would have thought? Victorian treasurer Tim Pallas has realized that there's a small, minute, definitely 100% confirmed chance that he owns shares in Transurban, the company his party has put in charge of building the Westgate Tunnel. Transurban is set to make more than $35 billion in toll revenue thanks to the deal. Money which would allow them to almost buy a 2-bedroom house in Sydney. While Mr. Pallas could technically benefit from an increase in share prices from Transurban's deal, he has said he had no idea that the investment was being made on his behalf. Haha! Yeah, Timmy, I too remember that time I had enough money to put into a fund that I forgot about. And when I definitely had enough money to buy a coffee and top up my Mikey on the same day. What a luxury. The shares were bought under an umbrella fund, and while Pallas followed all the disclosure rules, it certainly isn't the best look. In a shocking twist, it turns out that baby boomer politicians are so financially comfortable, they can set up a fund, forget about it for 8 years, and not worry about checking whether it may be something of interest. To explain to us just what financial stability actually is, we go live to our boomer correspondent, Ian Silverspoon, outside Parliament House.
Hi, Tavleen.
So Jan, what has the treasurer done to get himself in hot water?
Yes, well, it might be difficult for you to understand, but it's pretty simple, really. To get money, you have to buy money. And it's even better if you have money you didn't even remember you had. So Treasurer Palace might have been a little bit confused with which company he had personal shares in and which company his government was getting to build an entire tunnel. But at the end of the day, it's an easy mistake to make. You know, it's just like when I come home after a long day's work and realise I forgot to pick up Mary's Friday bottle of Grange. It's not ideal and it's certainly not a good look, but you got to say at some point, hey, Darl, I'm sorry. Let's just open that horrible bottle of Cab Sav instead, curl up in front of the TV and watch some Midsummer Murders.
Right. How exactly do you accidentally buy shares?
Yes, Evelyn, I can understand why some of your millennial viewers might have a hard time understanding exactly what this kind of scheme is. Basically, Mr. Palace's funds are what's called a set and forget portfolio. Basically, it was set up in 2011, back before he was even treasurer. And Transurban wasn't even part of the portfolio when it was set up. See, in a set and forget portfolio, you put funds in. Well, not you, of course, somebody with money. We put funds in. And then it slowly buys different shares in Australian companies, depending on how their stocks are looking. Sorry, you might not be understanding. See, us with disposable income, we sometimes buy things called shares. Yeah, sorry, a disposable income is actually what you guys spend on avocado and the Netflix when you should be saving it. Yeah, it's what's left over after you've paid rent. Sorry, no, rent is something you pay when you don't live with your parents. Yeah, so basically, if you've got a well-paying job like me, sorry, I should go back. I'm very rude. A job is, it's like an unpaid internship, except you're not getting rorted by a PR guru named Jared.
Sorry, what?
Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Palace set this back up in 2011. And since he's living the good life, he didn't have to mind what funds he was buying without him knowing, even though he was in charge of the entire state's budget. And as he said, he never paid attention to what was in the fund. After all, he's only the Victorian State Treasurer. What would he know about managing finances?
So, has he done anything wrong?
Well, Mr. Palace did follow the rules. He disclosed his financial situation, and even though the opposition are arguing it's a conflict of interest, he did notify them once he realised this was going on. After all the money going to Transurban's going to come from the taxpayers anyway, since they're the ones that are going to be paying the tolls. It's just an extra $87,000 a year per motorist by 2045. That's pocket change. But why do I care? With my smoking habit, I'll be long dead by then. So, you millennial viewers, if one day you want to grow up to forget about a share portfolio like it's fallen down the back of the couch, maybe just make sure that when you take public office, you make sure you keep an eye on it.
Okay, thanks Ian.
Bye, sweetheart.
Well, that's certainly one way to wrap the show up. Thank you so much for getting on board with Season 3, and as always, please like, share or troll in the comments below. The choice is completely yours. Until next time though, people, remember, the struggle, it's real.